So 5 ways to secure WordPress. What we're going to be looking at is how we can go and avoid people gaining unauthorized access into your WordPress blog, ways that we can stop common vulnerabilities from being attacked on your WordPress blog, and a couple of other things, which we'll see. So if we can go on to the next slide. Number 1, change your administrator account. Most of the scripts that you're going to see attacking your WordPress blog, automated scripts which will try and log into your WordPress install, will use the default admin user account with different passwords. Common passwords like password. You'd be surprised how many of our customers have WordPress accounts that they set up with the username admin and then the password something like QWERTY or password 123.
I don't know.
Or I forgot.
Yeah.
What I recommend doing here is actually creating a new account for your WordPress install, changing the name to something uncommon, maybe your first name, keeping the original admin account, and then dropping the admin account down to just a normal reader privilege. This way, when you go to try and log into your WordPress account, what will happen is it will say that there's an invalid password. If someone does manage to get in with the password, they can't actually go and delete any of your posts. The problem with just deleting the admin account is that WordPress, when you try to log in, will actually tell you that the account's been deleted. It will say that it's an invalid account versus an invalid password. Sorry?
What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that. It's just if someone sees that admin has an invalid password, obviously they're going to go start looking for another account. Whereas if admin says invalid password, they might continue to keep
So
on.
you can keep them occupied trying to guess the admin password
Exactly.
because that is a user, but it doesn't matter if they crack it because they can't do anything.
Exactly.
It's not a subscribe label, is it?
Yeah, basically in WordPress you can actually have different types of levels for your account. So you have administrators, posters, and readers. And
Subscribe.
yep. So number 2,
Oh, yeah, and so login lockdown too.
login lockdown.
Oh, you're getting to that, sorry.
Well, not yet actually. This is. I'm not a plugin person. My favorite one is to go and throw in a .htaccess file in your wp-admin folder. This way, what will actually happen, if you make a file correctly, you can actually ask to put in another password before you actually get into your WordPress login screen. So again, even if they do get into your account, that's fine, there's still an extra layer of protection there. Actually, they've got to get through this layer first before they even get into the second layer. Apache Mod Security, an application firewall. Now, to install this, you're going to need to have your website hosted on a VPS or a dedicated server, somewhere basically where you can control the configuration of your server. What this will allow you to do, however, is make sure that URLs, like addresses that are insecure, for example TimThumb, which has some known vulnerabilities in it, some versions do at least, you can actually write up rules and even download rules that will block particular things from being accessed when they shouldn't be. So you can actually stop that at Apache before it even gets to WordPress. So again, automated scripts are no problem. Monitor your logs. Again, this is something that you can't really do if you're just on a $10 hosting plan with the cheap host of the week. There are systems to do this, and you can go and make sure that activity that seems sus can be picked out. Importantly, OSEC actually allows you to go and watch a directory, for example, your WordPress content directory, so that if someone changes your theme, that will be caught and you can go and then notify an admin, like sending an email or sending an SMS.
Sorry, what are Splunk and OSEC?
Splunk? Okay, Splunk is a system that basically amalgamates logs. So you can go and get 5 or 6 servers together and say, you guys, log here.
So So is that a web-based thing that monitors that, or is that something you install on your
It's something that you install
on your virtual server or
on your server. And then basically that will push everything to a web interface, and you can actually search that web interface.
Okay.
And you can do some really cool things with it. Like, for example, you can go, if you're putting all your Apache logs in, you can say, Splunk, tell me everyone who's visited my website from different IP addresses and draw me a graph. Just by scripting that up. And you can, for example, say, I only want to see visitors from New Zealand.
Cookie.
And
sorry, with the installation of these, is it something like it's like a server admin task to install?
Yeah, it is something that is going to be more oriented towards people who are running their own server. But I mean, if your WordPress blog is at that sort of level where it's going to be a massive enough target to actually require this, chances are you've already got someone who's doing that for you. But it's still something important to have. I mean, it would be part of your normal security anyway, really.
Giving you access as a user, if you could say servers over here, hosts over here, to know that that's there or to get that.
Oh, they'll never know because it's all in the background. So
So just mean your host to make sure that like if you have a provider, you can't expect that to or even have access, and even though kind of suspicious activity would be monitored anyway. But for me, it's like good to know that you can have a system of getting pretty good access to log files. Going through them one by one is much fun.
yeah, exactly. And it's just that next level up. So you've got to the point where your blog's starting to hit a couple of 100,000 visits a day. You need to have that protection there. In case something does happen to your site, someone starts doing SQL injections, you can actually go and start having a decent enough system to go and pick it up quickly so that should something happen, you can notify someone. Number 5 is the obvious one. Make sure your software is up to date. And this isn't just WordPress, this is your themes as well and all your plugins and even files inside your themes. Because just because your theme's the latest version doesn't mean the files inside your theme are up to date. It's really important that you sign up for security mailing lists. The one that I would highly recommend for everyone who uses WordPress, and get your pens and papers out, is the open source vulnerability database. So osvdb.org. OS for open source, V vulnerability, DB database.org. Now this site is really cool. Basically what you can do is search for WordPress and you'll actually be able to get a list of all the themes, all the plugins, everything that is open source that has any vulnerabilities in it. So if you go and chuck that, for example, in an RSS feed, you can be made up to date about any security issues that come along.
And you probably want to watch it because that's what all the hackers are reading.
Exactly.
Can you just repeat the URL again?
Yeah, it's OS, yep, V for Victor, DB.
V for
DB, B for Barry. OSVDB. I'll post it. Meetup.
somebody.
That's all right.
Please post it.
Put on Twitter with the hashtag.
Oscar, Simon, Victor, David, Barry.
That's it. And it is absolutely awesome. Like, it is one of the best sites, and it's not just for WordPress, it's for absolutely everything. So all you have to do a search, chuck it into your RSS subscriptions, and every day when you wake up and open up that iPad, you can know what the hackers are doing and what they're targeting this week.
They've even got a Twitter.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
At OSBDB.
Cool. Thank you very much.
So that's
Tim.
it. Happy
wow.
days.
Sweet.
I actually stayed within the 5 minutes.
Just about.
We all lied about that.